Hi, AA community and synagogue. I'm Erin Thaler, and I'm not only a community member, but I'm coming to you today as the Ahava Early Learning Center board president. Now, I've got an ask for you, and I'm going to do the ask first so you know what's coming. But then I want to talk to you a little bit about what's behind the ask for the things that are there. So, first of all, no, straight up, I am here to ask you to consider being a board member for Ahava Early Learning Center. And I know that for many of you, the question is why? Why would I want to do that? But that's not where I'm going to go for right now. For right now, I want to start for a minute with a provocation, a thought to get you kind of in the mindset of what it is that Ahava has to bring. So first, I'm going to ask you to look at this Hanukkah that I have before you. What do you see? What do you think about? Now, I'm going to add to that look of the things and check out this Hanukkah. What do you see? What does it make you think about? Now, there are many answers that can come to mind. There's not a wrong one that's there. But I want to tell you a little bit about what these are and why they're here in my household and why I'm sharing them with you today. So first, this Hanukkah is not long in my family. It is something that reminds me of what I grew up with thinking that menorah should look like. It's kind of the classic image. You've got the full, rounded effect, the shamash up top. It also reminds me of my own Hanukkah as I was growing up. The Nes Gadol Hayasham, that's written on there. It looked classic, and I bought it specifically for that reason. I bought it when I was thinking of having a family and what I wanted our family to look like and to have something I could pass down Lador Vador. But now, the story of this one. This Hanukkah was made in collaboration with my son, Jacob. Some of you may have seen him from Minions or other synagogue events as he has grown up at Kesher and in before that at Ahava Early Learning Center. This is made of some neighborhood items from our household. We have this random scrap of wood and then these bolts that are here that came from construction work that happened on our street that happened to be this beautiful blue, and also these beautiful rocks that Jacob found that he thought would be fantastic. And together we made the decision to put them and to make it into found art and a found object. Now see, here's where this comes in to Ahava. You've got this idea of the traditional and the idea of what could come next when you do things together with a child. When you look at these items and you look at early childhood learning, you start with the idea of what is this that's in front of me? And what comes next? What questions do we ask? What does this inspire in us? And then, so what? What do you do with this information? I've showed you these Chanukiot. This is not something in your house. So what are you going to do with that information? Does it make you think about what is in your own household? Does it make you think about, well, what are they doing at the preschool? How are they doing things? How are things collected? What are my children making at the Sparks of Light celebration and all of these other things? These are part of the acts of wonder that come from Ahava Early Learning Center. It is a beautiful place in which it's not just about the action. It's not coming home with another art project or, oh, look, they played outside and it was a great sunny day, and that's the end of the story. The stories continue. The stories connect with what it is that the parents and families are bringing in, what it is that the child is experiencing in the moment, and how our director, Beth Helmy, and our assistant director and the teachers, how they help frame what those experiences are, to make sense out of it, to help us make those connections in the wonder that we have had and we have created. Now, I told you at the beginning I was coming with an ask of you to consider joining the board to add to this nature. Now, it's important to know that Ahava Early Learning Center is a part of the synagogue as an adjunct. We are our own 501c3, a nonprofit learning organization, and we actually function separate from, with our own budget and our own board. So joining this board is different than joining the board of AA, which I highly recommend for contributing to the larger community. But get your feet wet, get your connection to what Jewish learning always teaches us of how it is we can be in the moment and celebrate the things. Our board is looking for new members. It is a 2-year commitment, and we have bi-monthly, every other month meetings as a full board, generally on Zoom, to take into consideration our heavy lives with childcare and with commute, as well as other obligations in the world. And then on those off months, that's when our committees meet. We have a committee that works on governance and works on budget and finance and works on strategic planning for developing the schools to meet that vision and mission that the school has at work. Before I joined this board, in my head, I thought that you had to be an important person. That's who got to be on boards. That it was select people who had select experiences. But the thing is that Judaism teaches us your experiences that you bring to the table with an open heart and open mind. For the sake of the conversation, that's what makes you an appropriate person to be part of this. We need skills and talent that the Ahava Early Learning Center is not able to provide just on its payroll. So those of you who have law backgrounds and finance backgrounds, we need your insight and opinion to be able to make sure we have great planning for that. Our educators, we need people who are committed to education. Our parents, whether you're parents of children who have left the nest, we're considering having the nest, or there is no nest in the plan, you are committed to all of the aspects of our community. So I ask you to consider being part of our little board so that we start off with these provocations. We take the idea of what we thought the tradition ought to be and should be, and that we take it into, well, what else could it be? What comes next? And that's my question to you. You've seen the what. I've given you a little bit of so what about why you matter to us. So what comes next for you? And if serving on the board is not in your schedule at this time, consider other ways you can support, whether it's sharing information about the center itself, calling and asking to come and visit, or there are Shabbat mornings on 9:30 that you can call and ask if you can come and just be with the kids. And oftentimes with all of our Jewish events, like their Simchat Torah event, it was the synagogue combined with the children. You have a place and you have a part, and it is something we do with Ahava. Thank you.